Okay, so this is a pack of vellum that I've had for quite some time. I believe I got it at Michael's, I believe, on their clearance section. Hobby and craft item. Yeah, I don't know. It's a Doris paper, the coordinations. Anyway, but it is a fairly see-through, but yet it's a, well, it says premium cardstock vellum. It is a little thicker than some of the vellums that I've had, but I do like that you can see through it. I can read all of the words. I don't know if you can, but I can. Okay, and then the other thing is some of the items in some of the, let me go ahead and get my, so I did take like some of these papers that I had, the pink ones, and I cut out all of the flowers that I thought I would like to use. Now, some of them are only partials, but those can be stuck underneath something else, or, you know, at the edge of the paper where you don't need a whole flower. But I cut all of the ones that I could off of one of the papers I had. And I did also go for some of the larger ones. This one was, I think, off a Line.Arrow kit. I'm not positive. And then these are actually from the, see, I've got small little roses that I cut from those other papers. I've got to show you this. Isn't that beautiful? That was one of the pages that I had from Pickwave, I believe it was. And I found these. I think this, again, is maybe the Line.Arrow. I'm not sure, but I think this one and this one will work. This one might be a little too orangey, but we'll wait and see. And I think there was one other thing in here from the Line.Arrow kit. It's got a lot of blue in it, but I thought, you know, I can do something fun with this, picture frame wise, and I can, you know, get the blue covered up if I don't like it. Okay, so I cut out from the ivory kit that I picked up, that, you know, that I bought. So I cut out the larger elements. This is the cake from the blush kit. And here is, I think on these, I'm going to take my Prismacolor pencils, and I'm going to try and make it a little more rosier than this peach color. If I can't do anything with that, then that flower is coming off, but you will still have this flower down here. Okay, and this beautiful dress. Kind of want to do the same thing, even though this is kind of a cream. There is some peachiness. I just want to make it a little more blush pink. This was beautiful. Cut that out. And I cut this out. I'll show you. See, I cut that out. Isn't that beautiful? Love it. Started cutting this cake out. This is from that ivory set, but it's the whole cake, and it's just so beautiful with all the flowers. So, and this one, I don't know. I'm leaving it just, you know, so I've got something to play with. And then I think that was all I was going to cut out at this time. Actually, I know I was going to cut these out, a few of those. And I did pull this. This is from Line.Arrow. It's the Essentials Ephemera Bundle. And I love these flower wax seals. This is pretty. This is pretty. I mean, it's all pretty, but for me and the items that I'm working on, I think I could probably use these two, but I definitely am going to cut those out. So I'm just kind of showing you. Now this one I cut out, and as you can see, it's going to be perfect to place a picture in. Isn't that just beautiful? So, you know, these are the kind of things I'm thinking of, is making the album pages beautiful, but also having, and the album pages actually will be sitting this way. So, you know, we can do it this way probably better. So they will be sitting this way. So I just thought it made for a really, really pretty, interesting, lovely page. So, but I have a plan for these, and so I hope you stick around to see that. This is where I was cutting flowers from. I still have a few flowers to cut. And these I'm just saving for, you know, some different papers to play with. So anyway, that is where I'm sitting right at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and put these things that I'm done cutting into my ephemera box. Love that. And I know I still have things to cut, and this, I'm done cutting out what it was. So I'm just going to leave the pages for if I need something. Just like this is a beautiful blush pink. So, you know, I'm going to save that piece of paper. And then the rest of this all needs to still be cut out. So that has to go back into the living room. Okay, so I've gone over that. I've gone over that. You're going to need, for the vellum, I've got 5 pages that are going to go on, and they are going to be this initial, I think this one, I don't know. I would actually prefer it to be the lighter pink that I have, but I don't think I have 5 pieces of that. Yeah, that is all. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Yes. So here we go. So this page will go on about the first 3/8 to a 1/2 inch of our binding system. And then this piece that's standing up is going to go against our spine. All right? So I think that will be very pretty. Then, before I glue anything down, I will take the vellum and put it on both sides, because I did have 2 sheets here. The vellum will go on both sides of this main sheet. Okay, so we will have the pink and that, and then with these darker pinks, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes. So on each one of the sides, I'm going to score a 1/2 inch. just get this. Slide everything over here so I can... So I'm going to put this right on the line. Score a 1/2 inch. Fold. Now for the vellum, I think I'm going to use score tape. So and let's see, did I? Yeah. Okay. And what makes it really nice is I'm using the whole 8.5 by 11. You don't have to cut it down for anything. So you want to get this right on the edge. On both sides. Because for wedding albums, you know, especially because the groom's father is a photographer, so I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of 8 by 10s and 5 by 7s. So, that's why I'm doing such a large sheet, because I know that there's going to be that much. Okay, where's my, okay. So here is the vellum, and I want to line the vellum up with the end of the pink sheet. If it's a little larger, which sometimes they are, then just lay it down and burnish well. Get rid of all those little air pockets and such in there. There we go. Now we're going to flip it over. Let's burnish this a little bit better. Yep, you burnish it, it comes off a whole lot easier. Okay, and I do have a bit hanging off the edge. I'm not going to worry about it until I got both of them done. Kind of lay these to the edge. Oh, excuse me. And then let it fall. And burnish well. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to take and cut off the excess. There we go. Didn't get it quite close enough first time. But just take your time. You don't want to cut into your sheet, but you do want the excess off. Now, if you want to get this cut before you do anything, that's fine, but it's really not going to show. Okay. All right, so it's going to fit on there like this. So for the first side, we can go ahead, and I am going to use both glue. Now your art glitter glue does very well with the vellum. So, you know, we're not going to have a problem with that. If you don't have a glue that does really well with vellum, then just stick with your double-sided tape. If you don't have any double-sided tape and you have some glue that works well with vellum, you know, you see what I'm saying here. Use what you got. But if you have if you have double-sided tape and you have art glitter glue, I'm using both. So I put one strip down the center because I want the glue on both sides. And take this off. Now, I am take my little pin out of there. That would be helpful. I am of the thought that double-sided tape, if you put glue on it, you're not really sticking the double-sided tape down. You're sticking it to the glue. You're not sticking it to what you're putting it on. And of course, it might need something longer to get down in there. So I don't put... I'm sorry I didn't try this before, but you know, you just never know. You just never know what you're going to get until you... Ha! Eureka! So I'm putting the glue on both sides of the double-sided tape. I kind of rest my glue tip on the edge of the tape. But after doing it as much as I do, I've got pretty good control. Okay, so now I want to match this corner, and this is the corner that we taped down. This is the open spot. So I want to match this corner and make sure I have it straight, and then I'm just going to drop it. Voila. Okay, now I'm not going to burnish hard right off the bat. I do want to move that glue around, but I don't want to move it out from underneath this spot. So as I think we are drying a little bit, now I'm putting some pressure. And anytime you get a little bit of glue coming out, take it off. Try not to spread it onto your vellum, because then your vellum won't be pretty. Okay, so there is that side. Now for the other side of the book, I now have a 1/2 inch, this little 1/2 inch bit that we just glued down from here. I now have that as a guide if you want to put the full 1/2 inch on there. I want it to be just ever so slightly. Here's the edge of the pink 1/2 inch. I want my page to come just to the top. So I'm going to pull it back just a little bit because I don't want you to be able to see both sides. Plus, on the other side, we're going to do the same thing. And that way, this page is glued on here twice. All right, so just stick with me here and I'll do this. I'm going to do one with you, and then I'm going to get off and do the others. So on this side, here is the side we stuck with the vellum. This is the open side here. So on the closed side, right where the vellum is, I'm going to put Fabri-Tac. Right where the vellum is. Right where the tape, you can see the tape through there. See that dark line across there? I just put the Fabri-Tac right there. Now, let me move this so I can... So now, I want to pull this to both edge, but I want to make sure that I'm just ever so slightly, well then I move both ends, Talk about moving the glue around on the paper. Okay. Right there. And right there. So, now we're going to burnish that. There we go. Then on this side, we're going to take another sheet. We're going to score at a 1/2 inch. Fold. Burnish. Tape down the center. Pull this off. And on this side, I'm not going to use my double-sided tape. I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac. And really on this side, the only reason I'm using the double-sided tape, because it's not one of my favorite things on material, because it will just pull away. So I'm going to make sure I have enough Fabri-Tac on the edge here, on the outside edge, that it will pretty much cover up the tape, but the tape will grab the fabric before I burnish it. The tape will grab the fabric and hold it into place. And then I'm putting lightly on the outside edge so that I don't get a lot onto my vellum. Okay, so now I want to match up this pink page with this pink page. So I'm going to start right where that one is, line it up across the bottom, and let it fall. And before I really get it stuck down, I just want to make sure that it's good. Because, you know, we're not perfect, and that is okay. So now I am giving this quite the burnish. But now my page, see now, that didn't cover that quite as well as I'd like. I didn't think of that. But it's dry, it's on there now, so I will try and keep an eye on that for another time. But there is our first page. So it will lay down this way, and it will lay down this way. Okay? And this little section here, as you remember, we made 2 1/2-inch score lines and then cut so that it was 1.5 inches long. So this one, this middle section here is so that it will lay nicely as the book starts filling up and getting heavier. But anyway, so you have 1, 2. The vellum I'm not going to do anything with. They're just in between the pages. And once this gets a little drier, we could You could put a bend in there. I will let them make that decision as long as I can really work on my pages well. And then I have my center page, another piece of vellum, and this page. So that is one page, and I'm going to do 5 of them. So that's 1, 2. If you want to do stuff on the vellum, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 pages for one binding system part. Or you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is what I'm going to do. Because you can get, where did I put my little, well, I had a 5x7 over here somewhere, and I guess I have stuck it. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. So here is 6.5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. So you can get 2 5x7s on one page. This would be 10 by, no, 5x7, 6. This is 6 this way, so 5. So it's 10 by 6.5. So a 10 by 8 would, 8 by 10 would, will fit on here just nicely because we did take our 1/2 inch off for this piece. So she can definitely get an 8 by 10 on here, no problem. All right. So anyway, so now we just need to do that. And this will probably be my front. Maybe not necessarily this page, but I think I will start with this in the front. And then these will just fit right in place with each other. Just like this. And then I don't know if the last one, if I'm going to possibly do 2 of them together or separate it out a 1/2 inch and give my space. And maybe I'll make one more just with this. I think I might do that. I will just make one more. I could absolutely do it with this one. I can just put this, put a little piece of paper around it. I probably will sew the, stick these 2 together so that it's a little thicker. And then I will have one for the end, if that makes sense. Because these will be sitting here like this. Boom, boom, boom. And then I want one here at the end of the book. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you. So I am going to make just one like this. And then that will get glued down like this is at the beginning of the book. When I get to the end of the book, it will look like this. And then I will have one of those to just nestle in there so that it's equal on both sides. So if I do that, 2 of these is 1 inch, 2 inches, and then 1/2 and 1/2. So my spine is going to be 3 inches wide, which it's a little wider than I wanted, but it's going to be a pretty good size. That's a nice size for a book. I know some people, if it gets past 2, 2 1/4, they don't even want to go there. If you don't want to, then just do 3 pages. Use your vellum, and you'll have 30 pages to do, to look at. If you, or this can be just a really pretty printed, you know, like if you went with, find a whole one here. If you went with one of your ink, you know, one of your printouts or paper from your paper pack, instead of the vellum, do something else. And then you would have all of those pages. Now, granted, in between here and the vellum is not a whole lot of space. So these are going to be very, I don't know if plain is the word, but I probably will, you know, have like a decoration somewhere and space for a pretty picture. And with the vellum through, it's going to be beautiful. They don't even need to lift the vellum. They can see the whole thing, but, you know, they can lift it if they want to. Where the fronts and the backs are going to be built up. And I'm also going to be using acetate. And in the next video, guys, I will show you what I'm going to do with that. So for your homework, what I would say is get these guys done. A little bit of stitching is no big deal, but if you don't want to do it this way, just leave off the padding and just put your material around it, your paper around it, or whatever it is. You can cut it out of the piece of paper you're going to use. Like, you know, cut the strip off of some of your papers. As long as it's a good, solid, this is a 110-pound cardstock that I used for these. So, you know, it's got to be a good weight because it's what's holding everything. It's what's holding everything down. And I probably will run a stitch or two along the edge. I don't know. I have to see how secure I feel about this on the spine before I figure out what I'm going to do there. Okay, so I've got myself homework. You need to get your however many pages you're going to do. And then if you can set up your pages like I did, if you want to do this with me. Now this would make a great kids book, memory album, you know, whatever. But I think for weddings, it doesn't get any better than just having your big sheets. I'm still going to make them pretty. There's still going to be some interactive things. Not a huge amount of pockets, but there will be spaces for tags and things like that as well. So, anyway. All right, guys. That's it. I'm not blabbing jabbering anymore. I'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Get your homework done. And join me.